So we built our application using Flask, so I'll type Flask run to get it started. Now it's up. So I'll show you the table of contents of our backend database. And since we're using Python, we decided to use a library called SQL Alchemy. And we're going to build classes to represent each of the SQL tables. So as you can see here, we have a class user to represent the users table, and then movie, rating, genre, tags, just all of the SQL tables in our database. And then we're getting variables to represent each field. And as you can see here, user ID is the primary key for the class user, and so on and so on. And now I'm going to show you our actual web application. So if we go to localhost, it'll pop up. Okay, and so here's our movie title text box, our tag text box, and a double range slider for the min and the max, a submit button, and this is where our charts will be displayed later. So if I just query all the movies with a rating right now, the charts for the average and the count will show up. So this is the average rating per genre, all the different genres down displayed here in a 0 through 5 scale. And then this is the count for each distinct movie within each genre. Okay. So if we looked for a movie with a keyword Christmas in the title, we can submit and look for that query. So these are all the average ratings by genre for each movie that has Christmas in it. And these are the different counts. So as you can see here, this for romance Christmas movies, they has an average rating of 1. But if I were to move this slider up to say 3.5, query it again, that disappeared because it didn't fit the minimum anymore for any of the ratings with that romance movie. And these other charts changed as well. So let me try a tag, and so we'll try nice, and query for that. So you can see these are all the average ratings per genre, and then the counts. There's 6 genres right now. Oops. But if we were to change that rating, the minimum rating, now there's only 5 genres, and all the ratings went up. The average ratings went up as well, and the counts changed as well. All right, so that's the gist of our front-end application. And now to show you how. So this is our HTML page. So this is our jQuery slider, double range slider, and it grabs the values for the sliders and passes it off. And then these are the forms, like the movie title text box and the tag text box. And we're using Jinja to pass all the HTML values from the inputs back to our Flask server. And then these are the actual charts. We're using charts.js to display all the data. So that's all. Once we get the input, we pass that to our routes file. We're getting the setting individual values for all the different genres. And then we have our get and post methods. So this is where we actually do the querying. Using SQL Alchemy, we can format our SQL queries into Python. So this is where we do our initial filtering. And it's formatted like a SQL query. So this is basically like the select, from, and then filtering gets us the where. So here we filter for the movie titles as long as they're not empty. Same thing for the tag titles. And then this is where we do the filtering by rating. So we have to have the rating, it's greater than the minimum or less than the maximum. And this is where we make sure that all the movies are distinct, so we don't have multiple copies of the movie displayed in the count setting. And this is where we actually do the counts. So we count all the movies by genre that fulfill our filtering. We display that, and then this is where we calculate our average. It's basically the same function, just different methods. And then these for loops are for actually formatting the data when we represent in the charts. And then when we're done with that, we render the database query.html template and then pass these same values that we calculated above using the SQL queries. Yeah, so that's the gist of our whole application. Thank you.